Hello, I'm Gareth from BZMMicro.com. In this video we're going to run through the new exhaust system that we've brought out for the Losi and how to install it on both a stock engine or a Zenoa and of course our BZM engine. So let's just quickly run through what you get in the kit when you receive the pipe and what tools and consumables you're going to need to complete the installation. First off, what you get in the pack when you receive it. You're going to get your exhaust pipe itself. You're going to get two headers. One is a BZM type, the other is a CY Zenoa type. You're also going to get a pre-cut silicone stinger clip to retain it, two O-rings for our O-ring system, two springs for the header, an exhaust mount bracket, assorted hardware, and that's what you get in the kit. You're also going to need some tools and consumables to complete the task. Tools wise, you're going to need a ball Allen wrench, either an Allen key or a handle like so. You're going to want a spring puller. Not essential, you could do it with pliers, but I'd highly recommend using a spring puller, it's just so much easier. You're going to want a T27 Torx wrench if you're fitting it on the stock engine, pair of pliers, and an assorted set of Allen drivers. What you're going to need that isn't supplied in the kit to install it, depending on what engine you fit it to, you're either going to need a CY Zenoa exhaust gasket or you're going to need a BZM BZM exhaust gasket. All the gaskets are available from either BZM Micro dealers or from any reputable model shop that sells petrol large scale. Okay, so you've gathered together all the consumables and tools you're going to need to complete the installation. So first off, we'll make a start showing you how to install it onto the stock CY engine that will come with your Losi. First off, we need to prepare the pipe, do a few things to that before we go much further. So first off, we want to clip the spring clip on. See the orientation of the threaded part. Just push him onto the bracket like so. Next we need to install the O-rings in our header system. In the machine joint you'll see two recesses for the O-rings. Both O-rings need to be put into each one of the recesses. How I do it, which is easiest for me, is I pinch the O-ring together like so. Just use my index finger and my other hand to just walk it in as we go around. That just make sure he's bed in there, run your finger around. Again, same thing with the outer one. Start with the innermost one and leave the outer one to last. Again, just work him in with your index finger and pop him in like so. Okay, next we're going to want to put the stinger onto the pipe. We're going to want a bit of maintenance lube for this, or a bit of silicone oil, silicone diff lube, or anything like that will do. Just want to put a bit onto the actual stinger itself just to make the pipe go on a bit easier, and any excess just wipe it into the stinger like so. As you'll see, we've cut an angle on the stinger for you ready. This will come pre-cut like so. Just want to walk him in onto there gently. Make note of the orient of the angle. It wants to be basically like that, so when the exhaust's all mounted up and installed, the chassis is at the same level as that. Okay, next we're going to want our pliers to put on the spring clip. Going to want to just pinch the ears together so that the clip expands fully, and just slide him over, and as he gets to the expanded part, just wiggle him on there like so. That's the pipe prepped, ready for installation. Set him to one side. Next we're going to want to install the header. So we're going to need to select our Zenua CY type header, and we're going to need our exhaust gasket also. Going to need 2 of the supplied bolts. First off, drop on the supplied spring washers. Bit of a fit up, like so. Then we're going to want to pop on 2 of the flat washers. We're also going to need a 4mm Allen driver for this part. Okay, so we just get our bolt into the header. Just gently making sure that we ain't cross-threaded. Start screwing them into the head of the engine. Don't nip him up just yet until you get the other bolt in. Start him off just to make sure we're not cross-threaded and it's all going together nicely. Nip him up. Nip the other one up also. Once you've got them both nipped up, you're going to start to need to crank them up. Once you've got them together like so, crank them up neatly, snugly. There we have the header installed. Next we're going to want to pop on the bracket to support the exhaust system. We need our T27 Torx driver. Remove the bolt from the fan cover. The bracket mounts like so. Pop the bolt back in and start unscrewing back in. Don't tighten him up just yet, just snug him up so that not too much free play. Then we're going to want another bolt again with a spring washer first and then the flat washer. And on a 4mm driver again, and screw this bolt into the fan cover like so. Again, don't wrench him right up, spring him up, nip him up, and then let's go back to the Torx driver and then we'll drive him home. Again, taking the top bolt, work him home. Okay, now we're ready to push the exhaust onto the header. Again, we're going to want a bit of maintenance lube. Just pop a bit of that on the end of your finger. Just work that onto the header just to aid the installation of the O-rings, so it's a bit easier to pop on. Any excess that's on your finger, just wipe it into the header and apply it to the O-rings. Okay, so to install the pipe onto the header, just want to make sure it's square to the header, the exhaust pipe, and just apply a bit of gentle twist and pressure as you go, and you'll feel them snug up and bottom out on the header. As you see, the bracket on the exhaust, the mount on the exhaust wants to be to the forward of the bracket on the engine. Once you got that, just pull it back so that it meets up like so. You may have to maneuver, or you will have to almost certainly, unless you're real lucky, maneuver the spring clip back so that it's in the right place. Like so. Okay, now we're going to need our final bolt. Again, spring washer and then washer. This is where our ball-ended driver comes in. First off, start him off by hand. Just get him going on the thread of the spring clip, and then finish him off the rest of the way, screwing him in with the ball driver. This will need some adjustment once you've fitted it into the car, so just for now, snug him up and we won't worry too much about the final position. But the final position is pretty much where the bracket of the exhaust and the bracket of the engine, they're pretty much flush. Now that we've got that, we can install our header springs. So if we pop him on first to the spring of the engine, header spring locator for the engine. Just pulling back, does need a bit of muscle, like so. Then the other one on the underside. Hold the engine, pulling back, see that he's in there. So there we have it. That's what we technically call the power pack. The engine can be removed with the pipe installed like so, and of course refitted like so. So there we are. That's how we install it on the stock engine.